everyone to The Good Interview. I'm your host, Colin Burch, and today we are fortunate enough to be having a conversation with Catherine Swanepoel, the co-founder and director of BackaBuddy. Catherine, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. In fact, I'm loving this location, and I enjoyed coming out to Somerset West, all the way from Melkbos Strand. Yes, thank you for asking. And you?
No, I'm doing well, thank you.
Great.
Yes. So we're sitting here in what we call it Imabala Trust's new restaurant, and it really is amazing. They apparently only opened it in August, but again, another fantastic addition to their campus.
Absolutely beautiful. I must say, just coming in here, feeling the vibes, the positivity, really a place worth visiting if you're coming out Somerset West way.
No doubt, no doubt. So I didn't realize you actually you lived in Melkbos Strand side.
Yes.
My parents also live that side. Well, my dad lives that side. It's a beautiful, beautiful area.
Love the West Coast.
Yeah, it's nothing quite like it.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right, so BackaBuddy has, well, yes, let's talk BackaBuddy.
Okay, let's talk.
Yeah. So it has long been recognized as one of the leading fundraising platforms in Africa, right? And
That makes me blush, but yes.
well, it's been a long time coming, and what you guys have done and continue to is incredible. So, only right.
Thank you. Thank you.
But with your new initiative or program, Donors for Life, right? You guys set out to address a deeper, more pressing challenge that is funding within the NPO landscape.
Yes, that's correct.
And so, tell me, how did Donors for Life come about? What exactly inspired its creation?
Look, it's no secret that as BackaBuddy, we believe in the power of individual giving. So for a long time, we've always been talking about we don't have to rely so heavily on big funders and big corporates and big trusts and foundations. There is so much power in individuals coming together and supporting causes. So that's something that we've sort of been preaching for a long time, and we've been talking for a long time. But over the last couple of months, we've seen drastic shifts in the funding landscape. We've seen funding cuts coming out of the US. We've seen a lot of campaigns on BackaBuddy where organizations are literally reaching stages of desperation, where they're coming and they're hoping that crowdfunding is now going to be the solution to their problems, and they're coming to us at that stage. So we've seen this happening over the years, and we believe so firmly in the idea that one needs to build a recurring income base. And every single charity I speak to will say, we know, but the problem is, we know it takes time to build that sort of thing. And, is it going to be worth it for us to rather just start now and write a funding proposal that we can get 2 million? Or am I going to put all this effort into getting 100 donors and then 200 because of the time it takes? But just with the drastic funding shifts, we just knew the time is now. The time is now to hold organizations' hands and to help them build these recurring donors that will keep them alive, allow them to carry on doing what they do, and give them sustainability.
All right, that sounds beautiful. Yes, it's definitely something that needs to be addressed, especially when we consider how important a lot of these non-profit organizations are and the work that they're doing. It's so crucial to the development and the running of our communities in our country in general. So it's So in terms of actually what challenges have you come across within setting up Donors for Life, and how have you guys managed to address these?
So there are still challenges. We're in the pilot phase at the moment. So we're doing our official launch in January. So we've still got applications open for those who are interested. They can fill in our application, and we will announce those that we will be working alongside in our first cohort. But we're working alongside a couple of pilot organizations this side of the year. And some of the challenges, look, as I said, everybody buys into the idea. No one you put in front of me that has an NGO has said to me, oh no, I don't see the value of it. Everybody sees the value. But the challenge that organizations face is capacity. So many times you have the founder being the fundraiser, being the program implementer, so it's capacity. And the second challenge is maybe they know the theory, okay? But theory is very different to walking alongside somebody. So, it can be quite lonely in a small NPO as well. And sometimes you need some outside inspiration or a bit of teamwork or someone to just kind of walk alongside you in it. So those are the challenges that we've seen, and that's why we've structured the course like we have. It's a course. There's 10 organizations that are welcomed at the same time. We are going to work together with you. You are going to get homework, and we're going to get you to your first 1,000 recurring donors, and we're going to hold your hand to get there. So that's how we're wanting to face those challenges. But challenge also, fundraising is fundraising. It's hard to raise money. It's not a magic solution, but there is theory to it. There's science behind it, and you just have to do it in the proven way that so many other organizations have done it, and we're going to help you to learn that theory and to practically implement the theory at the same time.
All right. So central to Donors for Life is also the idea of the implementation of a 6-week hands-on program. Could you walk us through that a little bit, what that entails, and how the mentoring, the practical assistance, and the ongoing support actually helps to build confidence?
Sure. What's so exciting about Donors for Life is, I myself have been in the industry a long time now, but I don't know everything either. So we have created partnerships and collaborations with industry experts. So for example, BackaBuddy is integrated with PaySoft Impact, with Chad from PaySoft Impact, and that is a debit order system that is integrated into BackaBuddy. Now normally if you're a non-profit and you're like, I want to go and run debit order systems, sure, go to the bank, get the plug in, pay 500 Rand a month, and go ahead. But we've integrated it into our platform so organizations can have it for free. They don't have to pay a monthly fee for the debit order functionality. And with the technology partnership with PaySoft, Chad himself has been in the industry for years, built many recurring giving campaigns for numerous organizations, the likes of the NSRI, use his tools, etc. So within the BackaBuddy space and within the NGO space, we are going to be bringing in experts at different times. So we've got a donor retention expert that will come in and present on the donor retention side, a marketing expert, and we'll take them from the beginning with the application, because we need to know where are you at now, because where you at now, it's going to be different for everyone in terms of the journey. Campaign concept, understanding your donors, how we're going to create a community, pre-launch, launch, marketing, growth, retention. So it runs over 6 weeks. It's very hands-on. It goes from lecture to homework to lecture to homework. So a little bit like school vibes, but sometimes you need a bit of pressure as well. And Chad and I were joking the other day how we're going to say to people, you have to submit your homework by a certain date. If you do, you get an in-person feedback with us. Okay. If you don't, we will give you feedback, but it'll be in an email. So, just... Yes, a little bit, because we know everyone's busy. We know they're going to throw their homework out the day before. That's what we all do. But just trying to make it as collaborative and as fun for the organizations as it will be for us to see them succeed. And their success will be our success ultimately as a platform.
It's a beautiful thing. I like the idea of having fun with it.
Yes, you have to. You have to.
All right. So in terms of, you mentioned your partnership with PaySoft, right, Impact. And I want to find out, why exactly did you guys go that route? Why implement this technology? And how has this technology helped smooth the process?
It's also, I've learned so much through this journey. And Chad actually said to me the other day, he'll put his head on a block for what I'm going to share with you now. But
so the inside scoop.
The inside scoop is, getting a debit order off of a check account, which is what PaySoft allows. The donor can literally go in, put their bank details, and it goes off your check account. People are less likely to lapse and to cancel. If you give people the option to do our traditional credit card system like it is right now, and they say they want to be a donor for life, which is our program, we want to get people to pledge their whole life long, it's counterintuitive with a credit card because your credit card expires every 5 years, or you lose it and you get another one. Look, that problem will be solved in the future with tokenization, or we are also at BackaBuddy looking to implement, the likes of Google Pay and Apple Pay. So that solves those problems. But currently, as we sit with our South African credit card payment portals, I won't mention names, won't go into all of that, it's difficult because you put all this effort into building it, and then they start dropping off. Whereas if you start the journey with this as a check account donation, it's much more likely to succeed. And I wanted to also put in there, at BackaBuddy we grow givers. That is our mantra. And it is still, we're not forcing or tricking anyone. You log into your profile, you want to pause, you pause. It's right there, there's a big button to say, like, I don't want to be part of this anymore. So it's definitely not a whole, let's trick you into getting a recurring and you can never cancel it again. It's very easy to join. It's just as easy to cancel if you want out. But the technology partnership was important for us because we want to do what is best in the long-term sustainability for the non-profit organization, which is to have donors stay with them for life.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. It sounds like it's also, it sounds like it's a growing, evolving thing, right? And so as problems and challenges come up, you organically seeing ways to actually grow past them.
Yes, and as we learn, and I'm sure we're going to learn all kinds of things, we'll pivot and change and add to it.
I like that. So in terms of your other, let's say, other partnerships that you have, right? You also in connection with and work with well-respected organizations like Gift of the Givers and even Omnibus Boys High, right? So I want to find out, in terms of the early results and experiences that you guys have had with Donors for Life, could you maybe share some stories about that, some impact, tangible impact that's already happened?
I've actually got, when I read this question beforehand, I immediately thought of what I wanted to say to the people listening, especially if it's smaller organizations. Many small organizations, we look up to the big guys. We look up to Gift of the Givers and we think they got it all together. And I don't want any smaller NGOs to think, oh, we're late to the party, or how come we haven't done this years ago, or even to the likes of Gift of the Givers, they also fully embrace the idea, saying we need to get better at this. We know that we should, and we know that we are big and we're doing amazing work, but we know that we should do better at this. And they are open to learning, and we're working so beautifully together. And I think that's also going to be the distinguishing factor here with organizations that succeed is, are you willing to meet us halfway here? And they have been fantastic in taking our advice, taking our guidance, working collaboratively. What way do they want to go? What way do we think that they should go? So the learning there has been, whether you are a big organization or a small organization, there's always things that you can learn, and there's always ways in which you can improve. And also, another thing I really, really enjoyed and learned in these early stages was when you build a recurring giving campaign, it's not as easy as saying, oh, give to Catherine's cats for 6 months, or would you like to give to Catherine's cats once off? It's about creating a little micro tribe or creating a community that feels like they are the organization. And when we were brainstorming with Gift of the Givers, my CEO and I thought, oh yes, we're going to call it the Givers Guild. That sounds like awesome and powerful, and we were sold on it. And when we spoke to the team about it, they were like, no, it's not us. When a disaster strikes and we're there on the ground, people on the ground are saying, where's Gift? Where's Gift? There's a sort of a slang behind calling the Gift of the Givers Gift. And then eventually we landed on Team Gift. And it just gave me such goosebumps because we want the donors to feel like they are Team Gift. They are the doctors on the ground. They are the people that are looking for people under a building. They are people that are there. You are Team Gift, you are there because you give 50 Rand a month. So the learning around how important it is to speak to your donor and make them a part of your organization has been exceptionally powerful. But patience, even with big organizations, the growth has definitely been there. We're doing our hard launch, a press release going out next week actually for Team Gift. We're seeing some lovely growth. I think we're just past 100 at the moment, and we soft launched it a few weeks ago just internally. So the learning there is also, once again, this is slow growing, but it's sustainable. And once you get a whole massive group of them going, you'll be unstoppable.
Well, that sounds amazing. I'm glad you guys didn't stick with Givers Guild.
Excuse me. I mean, it sounds a smidgen snooty, but not too much.
I was going to say it's more because like a guild. When you think of guild, you think of like a a secretive organization of people.
I know.
You know, that's not the vibe you're wanting to get across.
At the time, we were like, awesome, but then it just shows you how nice it is to work in a team. And that's also why it's nice for small organizations to partner with us in this thing, because it's not just you thinking, oh, this is awesome. It's a group of people kicking your ideas around until you land on what you think is going to work for you.
Which again is amazing because it's supposed to be collaborative. You know, the more people get involved, the bigger the idea gets.
Exactly.
Yeah, the more impact it can have. Yeah, I like that. So Catherine, you just mentioned, right, the importance of individual giving, right? And specifically with Donors for Life, right, people can sign up for as little as, or give recurringly, like I guess that's 50 rand a month, right? And though this may seem insignificant, right, in the grand scheme of things, when it adds up, surely it'll make a bigger difference.
Huge.
And I want to find out from you, how do you see it having that impact over a long term? You know, why is the individual so important in this aspect?
I'm going to give you a very practical example.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to mention names because I haven't actually asked the organization if I can talk about them. But there is an organization that is a small animal rescue organization. There's one fundraiser who's also the founder, and they have a group of volunteers that work there. And she was introduced to the principle of recurring giving by Chad, and she completely bought into it. She immediately saw the power of what it could be. She actually was quite drastic in her decision that she was actually only going to give people that option.
Okay.
On her site, she wasn't going to say give once off, or she was going to say give this way or don't give, which is a bold move, and there are organizations that have done it, but even I thought, oh, that's bold. And she completely bought into it. I haven't checked with Chad exactly how long she's been doing it, but it's been a couple of months. I think it's been almost a year. She now raises just over 25,000 Rand a month from her recurring donors. Now, the big organizations that are listening, you're thinking, oh, what is 25? But let me tell you, to a small organization that is an animal shelter, that has a founder and volunteers, 25,000 a month keeps the lights on. It is just completely unrestricted funding that's coming in every month that you can use to keep your organization alive.
Yeah.
And that's the story I wanted to share about impact. That donor is not going anywhere. They're not deciding we're not funding you anymore. They're not pulling out. That is a group of over 100 people that are pledged to you. So if one drops off or one, reduces their thing, you go and get another one. If you put in the initial effort and you build it to a certain point and you look after those donors, you let them know what's happening in your organization so that they feel a part of it.
Yes.
You get to the point where you're not desperate anymore. You can keep the lights on, you can pay the bills, and you can continue to fundraise in other methods as well, in other ways, for a car if you need it or whatever you need to do. But it just allows the organization the freedom to then think forward and not be in this constant panicked, stressed state of how am I going to get to next month? How am I going to survive? I'm desperate, I need money, please help me. So that's the impact that we are seeing. And as you grow it slowly, we know a fundraising pie. You get corporates, trusts, foundations, individuals, events. You get all different ways of fundraising, income generation projects, which are also amazing. But the more this individual part of the pie grows, the less reliant you become on the other ones as well. But also to remember, which is something that I'm also very passionate about, is your donors are they're making a purchase. They're buying what you're doing.
Yeah.
They're buying the impact that you're creating. And it's so important to remember to bring them in to what you're doing and to tell them and share with them, because we've sometimes also found where strange, beautiful ripple effects happen. So you've got these 100 donors and they're giving you 25K a month, and all of a sudden you have a problem where, I don't know what the problem is, one of your dogs needs heart surgery.
Yeah.
We've seen cases where then you're sending a mail to your existing recurring base saying, we've got a problem, does anybody know a vet, does anybody know this, and then these ripple effects and beautiful things start to happen. I know someone who knows someone. When somebody's a part of your organization as a donor, they want to know, what else do you need? Where else can I help? I mean, giving and helping, there's science behind it, making you happier, making you live longer. It's great for depression. Some say it even helps you earn more. There's a whole bunch of scientific evidence around giving. So allow people to give them the opportunity to benefit from the benefits of giving.
The altruistic mindset. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice. And it makes me think of trust, right? And as you were saying, one way to build trust is to, as you say, bring in your donors on the impact that is happening, right? Whenever it is happening. But how else has BackaBuddy maintained transparency and accountability so that the donors are aware of the impact they're making?
Trust is huge for us, and it's been a 10-year journey to get to the stage where we are now. But we know that we are an African-based platform, and we know that trust is an issue sometimes. So we took very strict stance very early on around verification of campaigns before they get paid out. So and it's a bit of a double-edged sword here, guys, but it does cause a bit of upset in the user journey, because if you are raising money and then we say, okay, cool, we're not going to give it to you until you've provided us with A, B, or C, be that a copy of ID or an invoice, whatever it is, your NPO certificate, it causes a bit of friction in that journey, anything around finances. But because it's such an important thing for us to make sure that we can tell the donors, we have verified this, we have made sure that it's legitimate. So we've got a verifications department. Of course, now with all the super cool things around AI, we're looking at automating that, and we're looking at all the cool features around how we can make that user journey not so painful, and it can be automated. So we verify campaigns, and then another thing that we do and that we're growing a lot of is our impact updates. You give on BackaBuddy, we're going to tell you what happened to your money. So we are going to close that loop, because you bought the change. Now, the change in that particular individual or whatever you donated to, where is my end product now? I paid for it, I paid for the change, but you never told me what happened. So we come back to you and tell you, this is the change that you created. Here's basically the product that you bought was this change.
And how do you go about that? Is it just an email that's sent?
It's not easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I understand that. That's why I'm asking. Yeah,
It's not easy. Look, the team, we also have we call them the Gecko team: generosity, empathy, compassion, and kindness. But they source the updates, so get hold of the organizations or the individuals. How are things going? Can we provide an update to your donors? What can we tell them? Do you have images? Do you have videos? So the first part of it is sourcing that update, and then the second part is email. We are emailing at the moment, but we're slowly and strategically making a shift to WhatsApp. But that is also a tech journey that we're going on at the moment.
Of course it would be. I like the gecko though. Is the O stand for something? Maybe like, oh my gosh.
Well, it's openness. I just forgot to say it. Yes. I got generosity, empathy, compassion, kindness, and openness.
And openness, all right. I was going to say, it could be like, oh my word, look at the impact
that could also work. In fact, I'm going to tell the team.
Yeah. All right. And so, when it comes to this sustainable recurring giving, right? I've also noticed there's sometimes a portion about in terms of the non-profits, right? That they're not 100% sure how to implement it, or they're unsure of implementing it for various reasons, right? And how have you guys seen this play out, and how has it how does Donors for Life actually help in this regard?
It's a conversation to reassure their fears around capacity. Can they do it? How hard is it to do? Also, a big question around budget.
Yes.
So if you have already got a database of some kind or a social following of some kind, you've already got some people that you can ask. It's more challenging when you are a brand new organization. It's not impossible. You can do it, but we've got to think of other ways to grow. We've got to think of other ways to partner and scale. But it's just... I haven't received much pushback from any organizations. If anything, I've received a lot of interest to say, when can we start, Catherine? When can we start? Like, I'm in, what's up? And it's for us at BackaBuddy to say, okay, we can't just, okay, all and sundry come along. we need to plan this properly, and we're almost wanting to, after we run our first cohort in Jan, we're also wanting to create almost separate cohorts for separate industries as well. So, animal sanctuaries, let's create a cohort specifically for you. Medical organizations, youth organizations, schools. So our first cohort, we'll have a mixture of all of them together, but there are certain ways in which you build an alumni giving campaign that is slightly different to another. The basic principles can remain the same, but we're wanting to create enough massive organizations that are interested so that we can do it in industry specific. But so at the moment, I don't think there's a lack of interest. I'm almost too scared to talk about it because I know that this is it's what the sector needs. And it's not a magic solution, and it's not going to be a hockey stick savior. But if you walk this journey with us, we will get you to the place where you can continue to fly by yourself.
100%. I mean, at the end of the day, nothing is really will be a panacea, but it's a growing together. It's a networking in a sense. That when you do this, then the impact spreads. The more people come together, the more they unite.
And let me tell you how exciting it is when that first. I like to be the first donor. But sometimes my colleague beats me to it. But there's something special about being the first recurring giver on a campaign, and when you see that come in, and sometimes organizations, they just need those first 2 or 3 to pledge, and they're like, oh my gosh, people want to, people can. It's very, very exciting to see. And we also, you spoke earlier about learnings. Another thing that we've learned is the utilization of WhatsApp more effectively. So, for example, with Team Gift, in the thank you mailer that goes out, you're a part of this exclusive club now, and here's a WhatsApp broadcast group that only Team Gift members can join. And then you're part of the broadcast group, and then you're getting your impact updates via WhatsApp, which we know is a 99.9% open rate, and then you really feel like you're a part of something. So we're trying to steer, we'll still use email, but veer more towards WhatsApp impact updates, and also then easier to be on the ground and to walk around and show your dogs and quickly send a WhatsApp to the team. And that's almost like secret insider sharing, because you're not sharing it with everyone, you're sharing it only with people who are literally with you for life.
And that's a beautiful thing. I like it. In terms of the experiences that you've had, right, in sustainable recurring giving, could you perhaps give us a story, in terms of the impact of, let's say, how it helps them retain staff members, or how it helps them to extend their reach or their impact?
The only story that I had prepared for you was the one I shared earlier around the little... That was the story that I could share that was kind of small impact, the 25K a month. But we all know of the NSRI. We all know. The majority of their giving is individuals. It is people pledging. And the way that they've built that beast of a machine is so beautiful. My late husband actually worked at sea. He was a ship's captain, and my brother is a big wave surfer. And I remember a couple of years ago, I got a phone call from somebody who said, hello, we're in the NSRI. I believe your husband is a captain. I don't even know where they got that list from or how they found out. But how can I say no to a recurring donation to the NSRI when I know that my husband works at sea and I know that my brother's in the water often was so beautifully targeted that I said yes, because I know that we might need the NSRI one day to save them. And they send such beautiful little magazine updates, tangible. Who gets anything tangible anymore? No one does. So you get something in the post, like, oh my gosh, look, I'll actually read it, because no one ever sends me anything anymore. They've just grown and won awards, and just that is an aspirational place to be for recurring giving, an aspirational place. And then once again, on the flip side, that small organization where 25,000 is what they need.
Yeah.
So and it's something we work with the organizations on as well. When we start in the beginning, what is success for you? for your organization, what is success? Is it 100 donors giving $200? Is it 1,000? Is it 2,000? And also guiding you in terms of what data has shown us is realistic over what time frame. I'm not sure if I answered your question, but I did talk a lot.
Yeah, no, you really did.
I don't know if I'm a politician. I just started talking about other stuff instead of answering, but that's my answer.
No, that was exactly, and that was beautiful. I like that answer because again, it may have thrown you for a loop there with that second question. But again, when it comes off the top of the dome, you get something else.
Something else.
Unexpected.
Yes.
You never know, what comes out of that. So, yeah.
Exactly.
So I have one last question for you, Catherine, and that is essentially when you look to the future, right, of the Donors for Life initiative, BackaBuddy as a whole, how do you see that going? What do you hope to achieve looking back? When you look, let's say it's 10 years from now, looking back, what would you have hoped to achieve?
10 years is a long time. I've got aspirations for sooner than that. But there are over 200,000 non-profit organizations in South Africa. And we want every single one of them to have recurring giving campaigns on BackaBuddy. We're also looking towards another partnership around helping organizations get proper verification in terms of just providing donors with extra reassurance around their legitimacy. But I would like every organization to have a recurring giving campaign. And BackaBuddy is currently, we're looking at our expansion. We're looking at expanding into Africa in the next 2 years. So 10 years from now, we will be all over Africa. And proudly South African, but we will be running recurring debit orders for organizations all over Africa. Africa is what we care about, and this is the impact. The impact we want to have is in our continent.
I dig it.
We are happy to get recurring donors outside of Africa, but the impact will be here.
No, that's awesome. Really, I really like that. I know that a question is always a difficult one in terms of I don't even know when I'm going to have breakfast tomorrow.
It is so.
The impact we're going to have in 10 years.
It's so funny. And my the other co-founder, our CEO, Patrick, he's a real visionary. So we'll sit and meet for coffee and, we're going this way. And then I'll have a conversation with him. And all of a sudden, I've realized, oh, goodness me, we're actually going to the moon next. And it was wonderful in the beginning of our relationship together, with BackaBuddy and growing it. The early days, it was actually hard for me to see way into the future. I could only see what we were doing that month or next month and how much impact we'd created. And the organization is really at a stage now where I can see to the future crystal clear. It's become its own beast. It's become its own. Without Catherine, without Patrick, we could get other people in, and BackaBuddy will continue to grow and continue to thrive and continue to help organizations do what they need to do.
It's an incredible thing. We wish you absolutely the best.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We hope you go from strength to strength and continue to make incredible impact wherever you go.
Thank you.
It's been truly a joy speaking to you. It's been a lovely conversation. And to our viewers at home, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. We could not do it without you. And until the next time, keep giving, keep counting.